It's about that time again, dudes. It's time for an opinion piece. In today's video, we are going to be talking about scopes in Phantom Forces in particular, and even more specifically scopes that I just do not like. There's a little handful of them, right? I did a video a while back basically where I talked about attachments that I thought were useless or that I just didn't like for whatever reason, and a lot of you guys seem to be really receptive to a lot of the stuff that I had to say. A lot of you guys seem to really enjoy the video, and so I thought that we'd revisit a similar idea but with a bit more of a specific look. So yes, pretty much without further ado, I'd like to talk about some of the scopes that I don't like, and of course just don't forget that this is in fact an opinion piece. If you don't like it, then so for a couple of ground rules that I'm going to set, what I mean by scopes is any optic that can go on your weapon that is not an iron sight. So things like reflex sights, things like ACOG scopes, I'm going to lump them all kind of together. Now those are not on this list, you don't have to scream, I enjoy both of those attachments. There's other stuff though. So with that said, let's get into it. The M45-1, the M145, the M45A1. I don't know what this thing is called. This right here, the M145. I forgot if I said that or not. So the M145 is a scope that even pre-scope fix update from around 6 to 8 months ago, I never liked this scope. I never did. And the main reason that I didn't is because of something that might be really obvious, and it is that I can't see out of this thing. There is too much going on. Now, in theory, can I see out of it? Sure, I do have eyes, and I was able to see that I missed all my shots on that guy, so that was pretty cool, I guess. But there's just way too much going on in the scope, and I feel like, oh my god, I can't hit anything. There's just way too much going on in the scope, and it just makes me feel like I can't really see what it is that I'm looking at. If it was just like a red dot and maybe like those top 3 lines there, I wouldn't really care. But like just with everything else that's going on inside the scope, it just feels really weird to use. I know that there's a lot of people who use it. I know there's a lot of people who swear by it, and it does actually have like a decent amount of like scope inability, I guess. It's like a decent budget ACOG alternative considering that it only requires 185 kills, but like C79, 145 kills, right? Look at this. Just one line, that's it. And you get a little alt sight as well you can press T to switch to. It's just better for less kills. That's the whole point, is that it's an ugly scope. I don't like it. Now, next might be a little bit more of a controversial pick, but I'm going to have to go with the PU scope right here. The PU1 scope, the Mosin scope. Yeah, I'm sorry, it's got to be said. Now, I know some people are going to be mad about the fact that I'm using like scopes on assault rifles. Well, just use it on a sniper, and I will try this on a sniper, and I'll try it on the Mosin in particular, in fact, but I don't like the PU scope because of how big the reticle is. It is just, these lines are way too massive. I'll throw up an image on screen right now of like what a PU scope is supposed to look like. Now, of course, I'm not saying video games have to be realistic. Not trying to say that in the slightest. Phantom Forces is anything but this reticle is just like, it covers up so much of your screen with just these big black lines, and I just can't see anything out of it. Like, well, Steven, just open your eyes. Yeah, I get it. I know. But again, there are alternatives that make it where this just doesn't feel like it's that good of a scope. Now, one thing where it does shine that makes me actually not hate this thing, because I don't hate any of these, by the way, but that would be the fact that you can actually alt-aim with it, and it looks fantastic. So if we take a look here, we see a little guy there, alt-aim. Look at that. This looks great. This alt-aim mode actually looks so freaking good. But it's just whenever you scope in that it just becomes like, I don't even know, like the lines clearly don't change in size or anything like that. They look too big whenever it's like actually in a scope. Now that we've gotten our little last kill there, I'll do you a little solid here because it's meant for the Mosin, right? I believe it's even, yeah, it's a free unlock on the Mosin, so let's do it. Let's try a PU scope on the Mosin, the thing that it is intended to be used on. Like, yeah, I mean, I can get kills with it. I can hit shots with it. Great. It's fantastic. It is a scope that functions as a scope that has a really nice alt aim for it. I just hate looking down the normal scope. I just really, really do. Like, it's a fine freebie for the Mosin, but like for everything else, 2,000 kills is what's required to actually unlock it. And for that, you just are getting a, frankly, not a very nice like default scope. Yeah. Now, one that I'm going to have to say, it's been said many a time before, I've had dedicated videos on it, but it's just got to be said. That's going to be the FF3XNV, also known as the night vision scope. Now, there's a myriad of reasons as to why the night vision scope sucks and is just frankly a bad choice, pretty much no matter what. Do you see why? What do you see? Because I can't see anything. Oh, I see names. Yeah, I can't see anything else. Great. Now, the reason that this thing is so bad is because it does have some realistic characteristics to it. In real life, a night vision scope basically amplifies the low light from, like the glow of a moon or like a flashlight off in the distance. So this amplifies everything. So one way that we can combat that is by lowering our graphics down to 3. So pretty much we still get a bit of distance and we can actually just kind of see. Downside, everything looks very pixely and gross on lower graphics. Yeah. No hate against low graphics gaming. I have quite the experience with that myself. But then it's like literally the only gimmick for it is that it's a green scope. And there's just nothing else for it. Now, again, I don't hate this thing. It does have one single map that has a practical use for it. And that would be like a Halloween warehouse map from years ago with shaders on. If you do that, it actually works really, really well. I'm going to put a clip up on screen here from like a stream from a few weeks ago. Someone told me the map and told me to use a night vision scope on it. And it actually turned out super well. But unfortunately, we just don't have maps like that to be able to actually compare it to just kind of normally. So we end up getting left with basically a scope that has like a 1% like usefulness meter. Yeah. Now, because like I said, we are going to be lumping sights in general into the whole like kind of scope thing. I'm going to talk about a red dot here. I know, I understand. All of them are great. They're all fantastic. You got to love them all. The red dots are fantastic. Micro dot SRS is a little ugly, but it works. It gets the job done. OKP7, little funny little sight, super open. It's great. I don't like the EOTech M40. Now, before you start shouting, before you start screaming and losing your mind, the EOTech M40 is just weird. It's just a very weird, clunky sight that takes up a lot more of your screen than is necessary. So the EOTech M40, while being probably the most unique red dot in the game because of the fact that it is like a side mounted, it's literally a canted sight on your weapon without it being like actually a canted sight. It is meant to be used on things like grenade launchers. It is basically a red dot for grenade launchers. That is exactly what it is. And it really has no place on any other weapon, and I totally get that. But we don't have grenade launchers and Phantom Forces, so we put the EOTech M40 on literally everything else. Why? I don't know. Now, is it a bad red dot? No, none of the red dots, or even the scopes for that matter, are really bad. The thing that I just don't like about this is that I feel like it takes up way too much of your screen. Now, it is modeled after a real sight, so I'm not saying, oh, just make it different. I do like having some level of realism in my funny little Roblox Lego shooting game. Now, the next scope that I want to talk about is actually, to my knowledge, exclusive to secondaries. I have not been able to find this on a primary. I looked for a little while. I didn't look super long. So if I did miss it, then I'm sorry. Let me know what it's on in the comments below. Editor Steven here. So it is actually on a lot of primaries. It is on, to my understanding, I think all the snipers as like 100 kill requirement attachment. So yeah, disregard what I just said there. But it is going to have to be the Leopold M8-2X. Do you know what 2X means? 2 times. It is a 2 times scope. So I gotta sell something actually. I'll just buy it on the Deagle. I don't care. Yeah, I'll just go ahead and buy it on the Deagle here. So we have a, this is not an alt aim for the scope, by the way. That's for the Deagle. There is no alt aim for this. Oh, bro walked right into just me aiming. I mean, okay, I guess. Now, this scope, I will say, I really do dislike strongly. I really do not like this scope. And the main reason for that is because of the fact that it is so unnecessary. You don't need a 2 times scope on a Deagle, or just any secondary for that matter. Just put a red dot on it like a normal person, all right? There is no need for this thing. Is it funny? Is it goofy? Can you get kills with it? Sure. Like, if that's what you want to do, be my guest. But for the 1,500 kills that is required, you may as well just use like a TA-44 or something like that. It's still fine. It's still a scope on your Deagle, right? Still a scope on your Deagle. You could throw on an ACOG scope for just 430 kills. Yeah. And what do we get with this? What's that? A scope? Yeah, it's true. Do you get my point yet? I hope you do. I really don't like the scope. I think it is just a waste of time, waste of credits. If it was on even like primaries, which like I said, I could not find. I did look for a little while. Just don't use it. Oh my God, there it is. It's 100 kill is it? No way. Is it like on all the snipers? It is. Oh my God. I feel so dumb. Those are just a few of the sites that I just really am not a big fan of in Phantom Forces. That doesn't mean that they're bad. That doesn't mean that you can't use them. It just means that I don't like them all too much. But I'd love to know your guys' opinions on my opinions in the comment section below. Try and not scream your little head off as well. That'd be great and very much appreciated. But I would also like to know, do you have any scopes or sites or anything like that that you hate? If you do, definitely let me know in the comment section below. video. I'd also like to give a huge shout out to all the channel members up on screen right now. You guys are fantastic. And if you want to become a channel member too, you can do so with the link in the description and the pinned comment below. And with that said, I hope that you enjoyed the video. If you want to check out more videos like this, you can do so with the Phantom Footage playlist up on screen and all that cool stuff as well. That's always very, very much appreciated. And with that said, I hope that you guys have a fantastic day. Thanks for watching. Peace. Oh, and of course, if you have any video ideas, also let me know in the comment section below too. That'd be great. Thank you.